Hi everybody, it's Sandra from the Funky Pickle Thrifter. Thank you so much for joining me today. So this is part 7, believe it or not, of a huge jewelry haul that I got. I don't know how many parts there are going to be. I think I'm getting kind of down to the bottom of the box here. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of really cool stuff today. I have some antique pieces. I have some vintage pieces. I bought out a lot of jewelry from a woman who used to own a jewelry store. So there's really a lot of beautiful things to see here today. I hope you find this video fun. I hope it is relaxing, and I also hope you learn a few things too. So thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Thanks for coming, everybody. So I'm a big lover of Victorian jewelry. I'm also a big lover of mourning jewelry. And additionally, I also collect jewelry with hands. So this one ticks a lot of the boxes for me. I've never seen a cuff bracelet that's a Victorian mourning piece before. Not like this one, that's for sure. Look at that lovely relief. Now, interestingly, you may notice, let me see if I can zoom it in. You may notice there on that knuckle that it looks like some of that silver is peeling away. So this may just be silver plated. I'm not really sure. I haven't checked yet. It certainly does look like silver, so I would be surprised because the whole thing looks and feels a lot like silver. Let's take a look over here. MYRTLE. Oh, okay, Myrtle. These pieces of jewelry are very emotional for me. I don't know, I just think they're so beautiful. What a wonderful and lovely remembrance of somebody. Of course, this very expressive hand holding these flowers. Those are forget-me-nots. Yeah, I love mourning jewelry. I'm so happy to have this. Isn't that lovely? What a beautiful, beautiful piece. There's no markings that I see on the inside, but yeah, it does really seem like silver, so I will check this one out further. I'm kind of in love with this. What do you think about this cute critter? Isn't he great? He looks like he's moving. I love his tail, and he has these marcasites in his back. He has one on his head, not in his eyes, interestingly. I love his feet, too. This is adorable. So you can probably tell right away this is silver. It really does look like silver. It hasn't been polished in many, many years, which is what I really love about it, as do many other collectors. So we're going to take a look at the mark here and see if we can figure out a couple of things. As you can see, it is marked 935. So 935 is a mark that was typically used in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So that is probably from one of those countries. I was sort of thinking when I looked at that and I saw this that this is likely a German piece. Here's a beautiful butterfly brooch. I love this filigree work. Now, I do see these from time to time, and they are often 800 silver, which means they're 80% silver, which this one is, with gold plating. So you may notice how beautiful the wings are with this blue and green color, and you can also notice that that's see-through. So this is an enameling process, and it doesn't have a solid backing. It looks a little bit like stained glass, and this technique is called plique-à-jour. I don't have many pieces of plique-à-jour, so I was really very excited to see this. And you can see the light is just coming right through. I'm right by a window here. But how pretty does that look? Isn't that so nice? That's a beautiful little butterfly pin. Love that one. What do you think about this vintage brooch? This is pretty much a knockout, right? Look at the layering. What I really like about this one is the sort of absence of brooch here, if you know what I mean. Isn't that so pretty? So these are, of course, Aurora Borealis rhinestones. My understanding is that that technique was made by applying some sort of a salt-based chemical to rhinestones or crystals. And that's how you would get this sort of rainbowy or Aurora Borealis effect. Yeah, she's a beauty, right? Look at this cute little guy. Isn't he adorable? I love the water coming out of his spout and that blue eye. I just thought he was fun. I love buying figural stuff. I do like it because it makes me smile, and I also like it because it does sell really well for me on eBay. So I just thought this was pretty cute. That's adorable. What do you think of this old girl? Isn't she lovely? Look at the flowers in her hair. Now this one is made of a very old plastic. This is celluloid. And you may notice that this is a piece of jewelry. And this piece of jewelry is also wearing jewelry. So that's called habayé. Now habayé is a French word and it means dressed. So a lot of times you see these, and this necklace would have a chain here, which this one does not. I guess that necklace is inferred. And she further has an earring here that's also inferred. Now I think this is only gold plated. I really should test this one just in case, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably only plated. But I think she's just super beautiful. I love her curls in her hair. One of the reasons I really like celluloid jewelry a lot is because a lot of people didn't have money to buy the more expensive alternatives. Now, if this was a shell cameo or a gemstone cameo, people maybe couldn't afford it, and it would likely have been on real gold. So this made it more accessible so that your average Jane could also own a piece of jewelry that's quite lovely like she is. So I think this necklace is really special. I love this. Isn't that cool? It's nice and big, beautiful sort of opalescent white color there with this beautiful gold tone, of course. Take a look at these links. You can see that they are antique style. This is not an old necklace. It is, however, a designer. And this designer has a little bit of a following, I would say. This is a collectible name. Jan Michaels is a San Francisco-based jewelry company, and she does a lot of her stuff. A lot of it's handmade, hand put together. And I just think this is really cool. This looks like something maybe from the Renaissance or something, I think. That's what it kind of harkens back to in my mind. Really very, very interesting necklace. Cool, right? Here's a beautiful Native American Zuni inlaid ring. That one's pretty gorgeous. Look, that looks like there's some opal in there. And it's signed A.T. Sterling. I thought this was really beautiful. I also love this feather-looking embellishment here on the sides. How pretty is that ring? Isn't that nice? I've read that doing inlay work like this is not easy to do. That's really beautiful, though. I just love the way those colors all play in the light. Here's a beautiful butterfly brooch. Now, this one dates clearly from the 60s or 70s, just based on the style of this sort of flower powery wings here with these day glow colors. But these wings do articulate a little bit. They are movable. They don't tremble, but you can sort of place them any way you want. So he can have closed wings, semi-closed wings. We can open up just the bottom ones. And I think that adds a lot of interest. Or you can just wear it open all the way if you want. Isn't that sweet? I love that one. That's really cool. I've never seen one quite like this. Very beautiful enameling. This one's in really nice condition too, right? Love that. Here's a really fun ring. I love this ring. And is that marked in there? I did not realize that. It is. Oh, let me see what that says. Hold on. I guess that's just a repeat of this flower there. Okay. Not marked. This is really cute. This looks like this might be from the 40s or 50s. Isn't that pretty? There's like an opalescent look to these stones that, yeah, I think this is really outstanding. Beautiful old ring. Here's another very pretty ring. You can probably tell right away this is 14 karat gold. So that's signed SP Co. This certainly looks like an antique ring to me. And this setting right here, that's called a Gypsy setting. It's sort of flush with the ring. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Why don't we check these stones out on the gem tester at the end? We can do that if you'd like. That's a beautiful old ring. There's actually a little bit of weight to this, you know, to see how it's not really super thin. It's got a lot of gold right there. Look at these great old earrings. These are likely from the 50s. Some Moonglow thermoset in there, and then these beautiful Aurora Borealis stones. And it's sort of like layered. They're almost sort of tucked in there behind these. I guess those are supposed to be leaves, maybe. They are plastic, nice and light. The clip-on earrings. Even the design on the back is nice, right? Not signed. I think these are really great earrings. They're interesting and really different. How about these earrings? Aren't these unusual? Some nice purple rhinestones. Faux pearls. These are clip-ons as well. Aren't these nice? Sort of interesting, right? The way the purple part is sort of coming out of this. It almost looks like that's supposed to look like a vase or something. Isn't that nice? I just thought these were so unusual. How pretty these would be, because they would go right up your ear. I think those would be really beautiful, especially if you had short hair. Those would really show. Here is a beautiful and old piece of Scandinavian jewelry. It is a brooch. We'll take a look at the back. Here's our T-bar hinge. You see the pin is nice and long. It comes out slightly longer than the piece itself. Then there's our C clasp. So this is called a solja, and more specifically it's a Norwegian solja. So this was traditionally worn on Norwegian clothing that's called bunad. Bunad is wool clothing adorned with colorful embroidery. Now these were often worn at the neck. They could be worn elsewhere. They would make them in earrings too. But this is just so much fun. And this is very typical to have a crown and a heart. This one has crosses. And then these sort of shimmery discs here. And this is the only piece I have in my collection. And I really love this. I'd only ever read about it. I'm really excited to have it. I think it's just so pretty. That interesting? So I need to clean this one up a bit. It does have some grimy stuff on here, but I think this one is really cool. Look at this. Yeah, that's plastic. Isn't that different? I love circle pins, and I think this one's really very, very striking, I think. Just the white and the gold. Lovely. What do you think about these adorable lion earrings? How cute are these? I love these. These are so much fun. And they are sterling. And they're signed Far-Fetched right there. So Far-Fetched is a California-based company. They began in the 1980s. I think they're still in existence. But they were known for making whimsical and fun jewelry like this. Isn't that great? I love these lions. Look at these rhinestone earrings. Aren't these weird? I've never seen anything like this before. They're like a complete circle. They open like that, and that's where you'd put your ear lobe. Aren't those different? Very interesting. I don't even know what kind of style of earring you would call that. What in the world would you call that? I wonder if there's a specific name for this sort of design. I don't know. I've never seen it, or I've never heard of it before. I thought those were unusual. You know, I do like trying to buy unusual things, not just things that you just would see anywhere. I thought these really fit the bill. I also got this black enamel elephant pin. I thought he was cute. SFJ. Now that I've seen before. I can't remember off the top of my head who that is. This is certainly a more modern piece. Really cute. I love his green rhinestone eye. He's a lot of fun. Look at this little giraffe. How cute is he? Look, he has like a mane with rhinestones in it. And this one is actually signed Coro right there. You know I love Coro. Very nice. Not one of their, you know, really super fancy pieces. Just whimsical and fun. Oh, look, there's a rhinestone in the tail, too. That one's adorable. Here's an awesome costume jewelry ring. Look at this. So this is adjustable. And this is sort of metallic, elasticized stuff right here. I don't know if you call that string, thread. And this is kind of cool. I've seen pieces like this before. This one is probably from the 60s, I would guess, maybe the 50s. That's great. Some pink rhinestones, right? Very showy. Yeah, that one's cool. I like this one a lot. Look at these lovely little earrings. How feminine and girly they are. Beautiful guilloche enameling with these rosettes. Very, very nice prong set blue stones. And these are screwback earrings. Those are very, very sweet earrings. So this bracelet is nothing short of incredible. It's not real gold, just gold tone. But this is just outstanding. This is called a panel bracelet. Yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Very beautiful. Look at the height on this. Yeah, this is just killer. Beautiful old bracelet. There's the fold over clasp. Not signed. How about this necklace? Isn't that beautiful? I would be shocked if that's not sterling. It certainly looks, or maybe a lower grade, but it certainly looks like real silver. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the pink and the clear. Outstanding. That is just beautiful. Yeah, loving that. We can check this with our gem tester if you want, even though this is clearly costume, but we can just check for fun. Put that to the side. Here's an interesting ring. I really love this ring. We can check this stone with our gem tester too if you want. It's likely a garnet, that would be my guess. This one looks like it's maybe, you know, from the Middle Ages. I mean, of course it isn't, but it just has that sort of old design to it. I love buying Christmas jewelry. I didn't have anything like this. So it's a big old boot with some cute little enamel gifts inside and some fake pearls. And this is signed by a company called Art. You see that quite often, not super high-end, but they did a lot of Christmas things, and they did a lot of very pretty little novelty pieces. I'll be putting this with my Christmas jewelry collection. Nice Santa Claus boot, right? Here's a lovely Sarah Coventry ring. Look at the height on that, nice and adjustable. Take a look at the signature here. There it is, Sarah Cov. Isn't this pretty? So Sarah Coventry was one of the first companies who didn't have a middleman. They just sold straight to the public through house parties. And I think this is very cool. Love that. So here's a pretty incredible necklace. So as you may notice, this is clearly from either the 20s or the 30s. That's where I would date this. And this is just beautiful blue glass. So this one is marked Cycee, C-Y-C-E-E, and here it says number 23. Now sometimes I've seen antique jewelry that has a number on it, and I believe that's so in the factory when they're assembling it, they'll know what number goes with what piece. I think that's what that is. But look at the sides. I believe this is some sort of silver. Maybe it's only 800 grade, but I believe this is silver. Now, let's take a look at this part of the necklace. Same shade of blue, right? And how interesting are these? And each one is knotted in between. I think this is original, but what isn't original is this. I don't think that's original. Now, you could have something from the 20s or 30s that has a spring ring like this, but I don't think that this is original. It's just too shiny and new. And also, additionally, it's marked 1/20th 12 karat. Yeah, that doesn't make sense because this one right here is going to tell me silver, isn't it? Yeah, 925. So I think somebody put these pieces here on, but I think this is all original to this. That's what I think. That blue is just exactly the same. So I had a hard time getting in any information on this really, but this one is just a really killer antique necklace. Isn't that gorgeous? That looks like it's a bow, maybe? It's really nicely made. You can tell that, right? So it's signed Trifari. There's a crown over the T, so that's referred to as crown Trifari. And then there's a copyright symbol. That places this piece anywhere between 1955 and 1969. So Trifari was started by an Italian immigrant named Gustavo Trifari. He came to this country in 1910. By the 1930s, Trifari hired Alfred Philippe. He was a top-notch designer who came over from Van Cleef and Arpels. He really upped the costume jewelry game. He had wonderful techniques, wonderful designs. He designed for them from the 30s, I think 32 or 33 up until the late 1960s. But Trifari is collectible. This is a very kind of interesting piece, probably not worth a ton of money because it's not one of their real A-listers, but nonetheless, I think that it's very interesting and I'm happy to have it. This one's very interesting, I think. Look at that. A lot of movement with these chains. I just really like this. This looks like it's from the 60s. And there's the mark right there, Kramer. So Kramer is a New York City-based company, and they began in the early 1940s. The guy who started the company's name was Louis Kramer, and soon his two brothers joined him. They closed in the 1970s, and there is a collector's market for Kramer jewelry for sure. And I just think this is so, I don't know, it's sort of weird, right? I really love this. I love jewelry that has movement. By the way, please let me know what your favorite piece is. I love reading what people's favorite pieces are. So please type that below. I would love to hear from you on that. Whoa, look at this old ring. That is beautiful. And this is marked, it probably says Czechoslovakia, right? Oh, made in Germany. Okay. This is a beautiful brass ring. I don't know what kind of stone this is. It might just be glass. I'm not sure. I love this ring though. I love the shape. Isn't that pretty? Another one that's very adjustable, right? I'm seeing a lot of adjustable rings today. Here's another outstanding costume jewelry ring. Look at this. That last one was probably from the 40s, and I'm thinking this one is too. And what does that say? Okay, I guess it's not marked. Thought it was. That's a beautiful faux pearl. Nice and bold, right? Look at the sides. I guess you could consider this a cocktail ring, right? So cocktail rings came about during Prohibition because women wanted to really flaunt the fact that they were going to have a big old cocktail in their hand and they weren't going to hide it. So they actually wanted these big gigantic rings so that they could show off really to law enforcement that they weren't going to drink quietly. And that's how the phrase cocktail ring came about. So yeah, I would consider this to be a cocktail ring. This one's probably from the 40s though, not from the Prohibition era. That's a great ring. Love it. While we're at it, let's get to this ring. This one's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know if that's art glass. That's what I would assume. I love all this interesting brass here. Isn't that so super cool? Sort of like a chain link almost. That's beautiful. This one is not adjustable, right? Nope, that's been closed up. Not marked, just costume. But I think that one's really incredibly interesting. A lot of personality, right? We'll save this one for our gem tester. I'm sure it's not anything, but we will check that out just for fun. So I couldn't see a marking on this one, but this one has got to be gold. There is no way this is not 14 karat gold. It might be 10 karat gold. So one thing you notice right away is somebody tried to make these diamonds look much, much bigger than they are. So they put them in those that setting where it looks sort of like that is a diamond itself, but there's just 3 little chips in there. So we can check this with our tester too. One thing I notice when I look at this, and you would too if you were holding it, it's very worn. It's really thin. See, that's just ready to break any second. So somebody wore this a lot. So I would suspect that the marking was back here and it just wore away with age, you know, from taking the ring on and off for a long time. So this ring looks very 60s or 70s, right? That's where I would sort of place this one stylistically. That's a really pretty setting though. Look at that. Ah. Lovely. Here's an interesting bracelet with glass stones. And I really do like this bracelet, but there's one thing I like about it a lot, is that there's like a charm dangling down. So it's a little bit better than just your run-of-the-mill because it has that little charm. That cool? Yeah, I like this one. Hold on, let me zoom it out a little bit. There. Yeah, this is a nice one. Look at that. Very unusual. Look at this guy. That's pretty weird. When was the last time you saw a rooster brooch? Not real gold. I wish it was real gold. It's pretty heavy, actually. It's very nicely made. Maybe I'll test this one later just to be sure. But wait, do I see any? Yeah, it's not real. You can see it's just gold-plated. He certainly is handsome, though. You like him? Here's an interesting necklace, I think. Really interesting glass beads. Very pretty. Look at the swirls. This is clearly from the 60s, yeah? Very cool. One of these beads is broken, sadly, which I didn't notice, or else I probably wouldn't have bought it. Anyway. But look at this really cool clasp. This is just a barrel clasp, but I really like that it's so round. I just really like that clasp. Anyway, I like the whole thing, really. It's too bad about that broken bead. But that's an interesting necklace. So these beads must be garnets, but I don't know. I mean, it's not a piece of jewelry, that's for sure. $34, 6mm. Okay. But there's no like catch or anything, and it's too small to put over your head. We can check this on our gem tester too, make sure those are real garnets. I guess if I sell these, I would just sell these as beads and somebody could do their own thing, right? Very pretty. Well, let's see if those even are garnets. Maybe they're not. We'll have a look. Here's another interesting ring. So when I went to this jewelry store, she told me not to pay attention to any of the prices. So she was asking $45 for this. Sterling and lapis. I like that. Sort of deco sort of inspired, right? I like the height on this one. Cool item. There's the mark. Let's see what that says. Wait, what? 14. Really? Okay. It says sterling. All right. Well, that's interesting. Maybe this part is white gold. And then, what's that mark? Does anybody know? I do not. Let me know. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty weird, though. This definitely looks like silver, the way that's tarnished, but maybe not. Gosh, I don't know. Well, that's a surprise. Sterling and lapis, see? I just made the assumption just based on that tag. Well, that's quite interesting. Wow, that's cool. Well, I'll look further into this one. Now here's a shell cameo. Isn't that pretty with the white beads around it? This is a very nice little thing. Yeah, made in Czechoslovakia. Isn't that pretty? There's a further marking here. Both of those marks say Checo. That's really very pretty. It looks sort of like it's resin, but it isn't. It is a shell. So I think most people know what a cameo is, right? It's sort of carved away layered stone or shell. Very pretty. They're usually of a profile like this. That one's really nice. Look at the hair. I love the hair, the flowers in the hair. That's a pretty cameo. Well, here's an oddball pin. I could not pass this one up. It's just bizarre. So Artifacts is actually an arm of JJ, which stands for Jonette Jewelry. I wonder what year this is from. I wonder what year. There it is. 86. Kind of cool, right? I just think it's so weird. I don't understand this whole design, really, but that's just me. Kind of a fish in a thing that looks like pewter with gold, and yeah. Anyway, that's pretty unusual, you gotta say that much. So on one of my other videos, I showed you a necklace that was the same necklace, but all of these little slices right here were all different colors. So this is something that is quite interesting. It turns out this is a nut that's called a Tagua nut. It grows on a very specific tree in South America, and this is of course dyed. A Tagua nut is white, but I think that's really cool. This is very, very light. It really feels like celluloid. And here's our little toggle clasp here. How different is that? Now, I don't know how to date this thing. I would guess this is maybe from the 50s or something, but or maybe from the 40s. But yeah, I just don't know. I know they do still make Tagua nut jewelry. You can find it. It's like on Amazon and stuff. Well, that's pretty different, I think, and pretty unusual. And I'm really happy to have this in my collection because, I don't know, I've never seen a Tagua nut necklace before that other one, and I will probably never see it again. That's a cool old necklace, right? Here's a beautiful prom necklace. This one is really stunning. And I don't buy these a lot of times if I see them and they look very ordinary. But this one's just magnificent. Let me pick it up. We'll take a better look at it. How beautiful is this? Has some nice movement, as you can see here. Beautifully constructed. Isn't that nice? Wow. Oh, it's marked. I didn't even notice that. Western Germany. Okay, so we know that that makes it between 46 and 1990. Is it something like that, right? Western Germany. The wall came down. Remember that? Tear down that wall. I think that was 90. This is an amazing necklace. Absolutely amazing. So here's the last thing I'm going to show you today. I do have more to come, so please stay tuned. And also we're going to just check a couple of the stones real quick with my gem tester. But this is really beautiful. I don't know if you notice these dragons right here. This is amazing. These little bells. What a great necklace this is. Let's see if we have any clues here on the bottom as to when it can be from. Not signed. But I think this is pretty cool. Look at that. Isn't that neat? This is a very, very unusual necklace, I think. Super cool. All right, so let's test some of the stuff. So this is kind of silly, I know, but we'll just test this. All right, well, listen. Hope springs eternal. You're not real, but you're gorgeous. Let's take a look at our gold ring with a gypsy setting. So that's going right up into spinel. Let's check out this sort of gray stone here. Also going up into that same area. Oops. And then we'll check this one on the side. Yeah, they're all going into that same area. So we'll take a look at these beads, which I'm pretty sure are going to be garnets. Take one of these beads here. Yep, so that goes right up into the garnet. Perfect, that's what I thought. Let's take a look at this gold ring. I'm guessing that's gold. It sure feels like gold. And these are likely diamond chips. So that's diamonds. You know, there would just be no other reason to make them so tiny, right? If they were glass, you would just make them big, so. All right, real diamonds, good to know. Diamond chips, of course. Let's check this one. What do you think this one's going to read? Probably glass, right? That's what I would guess. Let's see. Okay, so this one is glass. I'm thinking this one is some sort of glass also. Let's check this. So this one is glass too. That sure is pretty. One giveaway on this is how it's sort of white on the back. Right? So they just took a piece of white glass and then they painted it really beautifully, I think. Look at that. That's really nicely done, isn't it? Okay, so that one goes right up into jadeite. Try the pink one out. Well, that's interesting. Let's check out the green one. Yeah, so I wonder if that's pink jade, green jade. I don't know. Maybe this is a piece of Chinese jewelry with those dragons. I'm not really sure. If anybody is an expert on this type of jewelry, just leave a comment below and let me know. And we just have a couple more things to check. How about this ring? Let's see what this one is. I would expect this to be garnet. And it is, okay. So we're pretty sure these are glass, but we'll just check for fun. Let's see. Yeah, just glass. So thank you so much for coming to my jewelry haul video today, everybody. I appreciate you being here. I truly do. I want everybody to have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. Please subscribe to my channel. Pass the word if you wouldn't mind. And come back again because I'm going to be shooting more jewelry videos that I think you'll find interesting. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.